This morning we are stargazing. The new movie The Help hits theaters today, and it's a look at what happens when a southern town's unspoken code of rules is shattered by three courageous women who strike up an unlikely friendship. Yesterday we spoke to the writer and director of the film, and today we're talking to The Help's leading lady, Emma Stone, who describes what it was like to make the movie. What was it like working with all women, essentially, on the set? Viola, actually, she's from Central Falls in Rhode Island, so we're all big fans of her, too. And she had a huge part in the movie. Was it fun to be on a set with mostly women?
It was amazing. It was such a really, really wonderful, supportive environment. There weren't egos. There wasn't any of that stuff. Everyone was coming together really to tell the same story, which is a rarity. A lot of times, you know, people have different opinions of what the outcome of the
different agendas, right?
Yeah,
absolutely,
for different reasons. Or different goals, and it felt like everyone was on the same page, and that was, you know, that's one of the most incredible things that can happen. And then to have all women and to feel like you're in this really warm, supportive, loving environment, it was really fantastic.
Yeah. What kind of preparation did you do? Southern roll accents and stuff like that. Did you find it easy to kind of slip into her shoes? Maybe you guys have more in common.
We have. I think Skeeter and I do have a fair amount in common. I don't know that my bravery would hit the levels that hers does. I like to think it would, and I hope it would. But you never know. I mean, she's risking her life for this, and as are Aileen and Minnie, of course. And so, you know, I would hope that I would have the bravery in that circumstance. But other than that, I think we're both pretty curious and idealistic, and we both were lucky enough to be raised by an incredible woman. My mother completely supported who I was, even though I was different than her, and Constantine completely supported Skeeter for who she was, even though they were different. So
what was it like being in the South? In this really authentic place? Tate was saying how they didn't really have to change anything. Everything was kind of, that's what it looks like if we were to drive down there.
Absolutely, yeah. It was. We were in a small town that it pretty much felt like we were in 1963, just driving around, other than the Sonic and the Walmart, which I frequented both.
Sonic's great.
Yeah, it's the best. It's America's drive-in, and I understand why. It was really, I can't imagine shooting this movie anywhere else. You couldn't have made this movie in Los Angeles on a sound stage. It was, we were completely surrounded by the culture and the character that is Mississippi, and so
I looked at it as like a fifth character.
Absolutely, yeah, it really was.
So what's next in the pipeline for you? Look for more roles like this, maybe, or just kind of.
Maybe. I mean, it's you never know what you're going to read and fall in love with, and then, you know, they've got to want to actually put you in it. So there's always that element too. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next.
Doing this movie, what do you hope they think after they see or they say?
Well, I mean, I think the ultimate one is the one that Viola Davis keeps saying, which is, she says it much more eloquently and beautifully than I will be able to, but to paraphrase, she basically says that the reason that this story is resonating with so many people and that the people can relate to this story so much is because everyone can relate to having an extraordinary chip within them, and I think a lot of people choose to live an ordinary life. But these women come from totally different backgrounds, and they come together to do something really extraordinary. And a side note, this movie was actually adapted from the best-selling book, The Help. It's actually been on the bestsellers list the past 2 years. So you can check out this silver screen version. Hits theaters today.